Hello guys, and welcome to this TrackMania Forever slash TrackMania Unite or whatever. It's basically a server tutorial, a dedicated server tutorial. This is going to show you how to set it up, including with local records, SteadyMania, including the panels on the side as well, and some basic stuff. So yeah, let's just jump straight into it. What we're going to be using is DigitalOcean. You can use any VPS hosting website, whatever you want. But for this tutorial, I'm going to use DigitalOcean. There'll be a link in the description that you can go on use. If you've got GitHub and you're a student, GitHub's educational pack includes $50 worth of credit, which means you can host your website for 10 months, or host your host your server for 10 months for free. So you've got instant 10 months of TrackMania server, and if you want to continue, do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to be using the flavor of Linux called CentOS, and you want to select the minimum you can do, which is £5 a month. I'm going to do in London. I'm going to add monitoring for fun. Name it whatever you want. So I'm going to do TrackMania server. Okay, and then just click create. Now that's setting up. What you're going to need to do is it'll email you. So once you've once you've connected, it's going to email you the IP and the root password so once this is set up, so while that's setting up, you're going to need two programs, Putty and FileZilla. These can be easily found if you just Google them. They'll leave download links in the description below. So you're going to want to do that. So it's given us the IP address here. So what you're going to do is you're going to load up Putty. You're going to just put in the IP address straight away, and you can probably save this, so TM server, so you just click save, and then you're going to load straight into it. It's going to give you security, just click OK, and now you're going to log in as root. Now you're going to need the root password, which I mentioned earlier. That's going to be emailed to you right here, and there you go, there's the password. So you're just going to copy it. Now to paste things in Putty, you're just going to right click, but it's a password so you can't see it, and just press enter. Now it's going to ask you to change your password. Now the current password is the one you just copied, so right click again and press enter. And now you're going to have to change the password, so type in whatever you want. Okay, so we've now changed the password. Now the tutorial this is following is from this quick start guide, and it recommends running the server under its own username, under a user, not root, which is recommended for security reasons. So what we're going to do is we're going to quickly add a username. So what you're going to type is you're going to type add user, and then followed by the username. TMF, I believe, is the one I recommend. This is just for later setup, so I recommend following it because it means you don't have to change setups for other things later. So you've created a user. Now you want to add a password to that user. It's just that, and then followed by the. So you're going to now choose a password, which you can do however you want. The password's doing that's great. It means I can't type. Right, so you've now added the password to the TrackMania server username. Now, because quite a few of the things we require is going to require sudo, which is the basically admin commands for a Linux server, you're going to want to apply the user to a group. By default in CentOS, the wheel group basically allows people to use sudo. It's got sudo by default, so we're just going to quickly add them to that. So tmf. Easy. To change to a user, you want to type su and then the username. Because we're root, we don't actually have to type the password. Fun. Anyway, so to set up, to start the setup, we're going to do a quick command called. So if you've done any servers before, certain flavors have different types of ways of installing programs. In CentOS, it's yum. But as we're not root, we're going to need to. Let's just cd out there. We're going to need to type sudo and then yum update. Now it's going to ask, because we're not root, for the password, so just enter the password you set earlier. Hopefully I typed that right. I didn't. That should be right. There we go. So it's just going to update and you want to hit yes. So this is just updating all the things on the server. Shouldn't take too long. Press Y again. While this is going on, we are going to want to go to player.trackmania. I need to log out. How do I log out? Right, it's going to default. So you want to go to player.trackmania.com, link in the description and in the write-up. So you want to log in with your TrackMania Nations account, or TrackMania United account. You just want to log in. And then you want to, because we're setting up a server, we want to click dedicated server, and then you want to enter the your key, which obviously your key to download the game. I'm going to use this key. Now here you're going to want to enter a server login. This has to be unique across all servers. I have a test server set up, so we're going to be using that, and then a password, and then set the location, which I've set the UK. So we've got the these are set here. Right, now go back to our it's still cleaning up. This will take a while, so I'll cut back to when it's finished. So it's finished updating. Now we're going to run another command. This command is sudo yum install php php-mysql wget and unzip. These are all needed for later on. So just hit enter. It's going to ask you. You're just going to hit yes, and it'll install that. This should be pretty quick compared to the other one though. There we go, we're done. Now, ls is a command that lists what's in our location, which is nothing, which is good. Now, wget is used for downloading files from the web. So if we go here, and it wants us to download the server, which is located here. So you're going to copy this link. Also link in the description, and you're going to go wget and then right click to paste again, and it's going to download the server. Nice. Now if you type in ls, you have the server downloaded. To unzip, again we download the unzip like program, and we're going to go w unzip capital T track, and if you use tab you can auto-complete. This is very useful for later on. So it's found that we want that one, so you want to go -d for define the destination, and we're just going to use TMS TM server, sorry, and it's going to unzip that. And if you type in ls, you'll see that we have a server folder. To get into the server folder, you're going to type cd and then the name, so TMS. And we're in the server folder. This has got a load of things, which is really good. Now, previously we had set up the, hopefully you downloaded and installed FileZilla. So we're going to open up FileZilla, and we're going to, so now we've got FileZilla. We're going to go File, Site Manager, and then we're going to add a new site. You want to select SFTP. The host is right here, so we're going to click copy. This is just the IP address of the VPN, and you're going to type normal. Recommended is probably connecting in root, so type in that root password and then just hit enter and you'll automatically connect. So where we downloaded and unzipped that file is located in home, and then the name of the user, which is TMF in this case. Right, so we have to do a few things for the server. So we're going to go into the server, and we're going to go to into game data and then config. So we're going to have to edit the config file. So we're going to go view and edit. This will probably open in Notepad. To change it to something else, you want to go file, settings, transfers, is it? File editing, sorry. You want to use the custom Notepad, custom editor, and set it to, if you haven't already got Notepad++, download and use that. What this does is we have, I'll make that easier to view in the middle for me. This is the CFG folder for the server that we've just downloaded. So what we're going to do is, what you need to do is you need to change the passwords for super admin, and user. So I'm just going to do test 1 2 3 4, test 1 2 3 4 5, and test 1 2 3 4 5 6. And then you need to change this. So in my case, this is going to be what we had on the player. So it's going to be UE test server. That's the login, password, and validation key is the last three in your key. So I think mine is MXT. It's MHT. So once you've done that, you want to name the server. So this is just going to be a test server 1 or something. You can change the max players, max spectators. You can change a few of these, but apart from that, you don't actually have to change anything else. So you want to hit save, or Control S in this case, and then here you want to go finish, and you want to click yes, and it's now updated to the server, which is all good. Now, to test if the server is running, you want to type, so it's been updated and we're now back on putty. You want to paste this command, which will be in the write up, and it's also located here in the quick start guide right here. So this is literally just the default, like the default just for testing purposes, and if you hit enter, that should all come up fine. Now what you want is you want to load up the game and you see if we can connect to the server. So right, now to test if the server's online, you're going to click online. I was in all, there we go, test server 1, it's online. So we can click, and we can actually join and play the default tests, which is map, and so it works, and we can drive around and whatnot. Right, so now that we know that works, I'm gonna quit the game. We're gonna go back to, right, now that we've tested and can connect to the server, we're probably going to want to stop the server. So it's given us this PID. Now to kill this server, which is the only way to actually close it at the moment, is we need to type sudo kill, and then the name of the PID, which is, and it's going to want us to type in the password, and we've killed that. So the server should now be dead. Good. I say good. Now, the main part of that was generally quite easy, and most people could follow this. There's a few things you might want to check the connection and upload. That should be fine. Leave it as Stadium though. Is this to get a lot more customization in your server? You're going to require the I don't even know how you pronounce that, but it's this system that allows you to run the widgets and extra things, including TrackMania and local and all of that, and it's all really good. It requires MySQL to run. So what we're going to do is download MySQL. Unlike PHP, which is really easy to install, MySQL is not a default per se on CentOS. So to do this, we're going to require going to link in the description, the MySQL yum repository. We're going to have to then download the latest for we're using CentOS 7, so we're going to click download, and then we're going to copy this link. This will also be in the description, but it doesn't really matter. And we're going to do wget paste of this link. So it's going to download. Actually, we want to. Sorry, we have downloaded in the wrong place. So actually, this is going to be. We can just remove it by typing rm, and then there you go. It's not there anymore. So to get back out, we want to type cd again, and now we're back out at the start because we don't want them in the same place, just for ease of use. So let's type that command again. You can use arrow keys to scroll through your last commands. This will be helpful later. So we want wget, and so we're going to just download it again. Really easy. Now we're going to type it. This is another command that you're just going to have to follow me through here. We're just basically, yum doesn't have MySQL in its database, so we're just going to add it to its database by doing that. Very simple. However, because since this tutorial came out, MySQL has updated considerably. We need an older version or an older type of MySQL, which is actually the 5 point something or other. Currently we're on the 8 version, so it's gonna show us that command that I've just pasted there. Again, this will be you'll be able to. I'll show you this. The one that's enabled by default is the 8.0 community server. We don't want that. We want the 5.7. So 2 quick commands. Again, just copy and paste them. Is going to, so you have to hit enter. It's going to disable the 8.0 and re-enable the 5.7. As you can see, the 8.0 has been disabled and the 5.7 has been enabled. Good. Now it's a simple yum install. You have to use sudo as we're not root. And it's going to install, and you're just going to hit Y for all of that. It's going to install. So we've now installed, or I'm currently installing MySQL. Right, now that MySQL has been installed, we can start the process by using the command sudo system ctl start MySQL d. It is a d. It'll freeze for a second. Nothing will be pasted out, but it will start. So to check that it's actually started and nothing has gone wrong, which hopefully it has, and you can just use status, and it should say active and running. Good, we've got the MySQL server up and running. Right, now that we've checked that the MySQL system is running, we're gonna, however, by default the MySQL database is insecure and has some defaults, including default users and default just it's quite easy to access, which you don't really want people doing. So what we're going to do is we're going to run this command here, which is going to locate us the temporary root password, and then we're going to have to change that because we don't want people getting in. So we're going to type sudo MySQL secure installation. We're going to select password, and now if you press right click, it's going to copy, but it's also going to paste straight into the input for us. So we're just going to right click and then press enter, and it's going to say the user's password has expired. So what we're going to do is we're going to want to change that, so we're going to type in a new password, and we're going to repeat that, and so it's going to like evaluate our password. Ours is 100. Good. You just want to type no. Now to changing the root password, because that will ask you to redo it again. Okay, so we're going to want to remove anonymous users, disallow root login remotely, remove test database, and yeah. So just press Y through all of that, and now it's done. Good. Now we're going to want to log in to MySQL. So what we're going to do is we're going to type MySQL -u root. So this is the default or the root user for MySQL -p. Press enter. It's going to ask us for the password. So do the one that you typed in above. And now we're in MySQL. You can type a few commands in here. Firstly, we're going to want to create a database called like so, which is just capital create database. That all has to be a capital, and then you have to finish with a semicolon. So we've just created a database quite simply. Now we're going to want to create a user to access the database. So just copy and paste this, and then you can either use mypass 124 exclamation point whatever, but you want to change that. And then it's going to create a user. Now we're going to need to grant access to the database we created to this user, like so. Easy, done. And then you just want to type exit to leave MySQL. MySQL is now done. Right. Now, what we need to do is okay, so we've set up the database that's going to be needed for the local recordings. Now what we need to do is we need to download the latest version. So we're gonna of this. Sadly, for some reason, wget followed by the link doesn't work. It's forbidden. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to manually download it and use FileZilla to just copy and paste it in. So I've already downloaded it, so just going to go downloads, copy. It's going to copy it. Now I'm going to rename it for ease. Not that it matters. Okay, so because I've already downloaded it. So we've downloaded it, we've pasted it into in here, and what we're going to do is we're going to go back to putty. We're going to type ls to show us what's in there. Good, it's downloaded. So we're going to type in unzip xas. You can press tab to skip this, and just press enter. You don't need to define a destination because it's already got a subfolder in it. I'm just going to do that, and then we're going to type ls, good, and then we're going to type cd, cd x, there we go. Now we can see what's inside. Cool. Right, going back to FileZilla, press this button up here to refresh, and we've got this new folder. Nice. Right, for a new install, you're going to have to go into new install, and everything that is .xml you need to copy into just the main, and anything that's a PHP file you need to do into include. So I'm going to copy all the XML. Is that all of them? There you go. And we're just going to drag them up here. And there we'll go. And then we're going to want PHP straight into includes. Now you want, because we're on Linux, we're going to need this file, and that's going to be into over here. So we've now got all of this set up. Good. Right, now on to the hard and customization. Because this tutorial that we're running is many years old, I'm talking about close to 7 years old now, I think. Some things, including the PHP, has been updated so much, and MySQL has been updated so much that it has actually broken a few things. Oh, well, it's broken one thing mainly. So we're going to have to go into the plugins file, and we're going to we need to go plugin.localdatabase.php. We're going to view and edit. This is going to, let me make that easy for you to view. We're going to this is opening up the PHP. I've opened it up in Notepad because that's what you need to do. Basically, the problem is setting a default for date time like this doesn't work anymore. Luckily, the defaults don't actually really matter, so we can quickly change it and fix it by going like this and this to these two. I'm just going to save, and then we're going to close that, and then we're going to upload it. Okay, good. We fixed the PHP issue that you'll find if you don't do this, or that I did anyway, but it works. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back and we're going to have to update a few XML files, which is the like configs. So we're going to need to update, so view and edit, local database. What else we need? We're going to need obviously config, so view and edit, and we're going to need DediMania. Where are you? DediMania, there we go. Right, so we're going to need to do the MySQL database and password. This is what we set up, so it's TMF, I believe. Sorry, and we did it what did I pass 1 2 3 4 exclamation point, whatever you set it up, and then just save that. Though I recommend changing the limit, so say 100, 200, whatever you want. Config. So right here we're going to have to quickly add, this is your account. Don't need an IP address because most people's IP addresses aren't static, so that may break it. And then I believe, yes, down here at the bottom you need to change your so that's what we set in our config earlier. So in our case that was test 1 2 3 4. Whatever you set that, you need to set that here. Yes, and now in DediMania, so we're going to click save, and then we're going to go over to DediMania. Here is your server login. This was found over here, so what you need to do is paste that in there, and GBR. However, if you don't want to use your password, you can go to this link here and type in like so, and it's going to give you a community code which you can paste in password instead. I believe that is all we have to do here. Now we're gonna save up, yes, good, and now everything's been uploaded. Now if you were to run the server now, everything should be fine. However, I'm gonna show you some extra things that are including. So most people, I'm assuming if you're going to run a server, you're going to want the panels on the side with DediMania records and local records and a few other things. You know, the default quote-unquote clutter around the most servers you go on these days. So that plugin is called Records Eyepiece. It's located at this forum where you can find a link to Records Eyepiece here, and you're going to have to download it, and we're going to install it. That's what we're going to do. So I've already downloaded it. It's here. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy the plugins, so just literally just copy and paste it in. Nice. And now we're going to edit the record eyepiece. I believe, actually you don't even have to edit the record eyepiece if you don't want to. You can leave it as default. However, I recommend going in and changing a few things. I'm not going to do that here though. However, what you do need to do is go into plugins.xml, and we're going to go view and edit. I need to drag that. Where is it? Over here. We're going to need to add this at the bottom. You need to do plugin and then plugin records underscore eyepiece.php. You're also going to want to, because this will fix an issue, is uncomment the donate.php. Everything else can be left the same. And we're going to save. I'm going to upload it. Now, this is good. However, we haven't got maps. We haven't got maps on the server, which would be an issue because you don't want to be playing with the default maps. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to load up TrackMania. Hopefully this won't break my recording. And we're going to go. Oh, we're going to flip over to this new scene. Hopefully this works. Might or might not work. There we go. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to click play online and create. This means this is where you can do all your settings. These are fine. Leave the ladder limits and stuff like that alone. Yeah, 20 players, 10 spectators. Fine, all good. You can click launch. Now, if you've downloaded a few tracks, which you can find online, and you literally just want to go select all of them. So here we go. We've selected a load of tracks, and you want to click Save Settings, and we're going to call it test_lol, and just click Save. Right. You don't actually want to run the server, so you're going to go back. Now, once we've done that, we actually need to quit. We don't need the game. Hopefully that doesn't break my desktop. We'll just let the game completely close. Okay, so after you've got everything set up, after you've got your server settings set up, you're going to want to go to Documents, your Documents, TrackMania, and then under Tracks you have Match Settings where test_lol is saved. However, as you know, because you'll put the tracks here, not campaign, sorry, challenges downloaded, you've got a load here. What you're going to want to do is under your TrackMania server, you want to go to Game Data, Tracks, and you're going to actually want to copy everything over. So we're going to want to go, so under Downloaded, just copy them all in. Otherwise, things will be broken, obviously, because you don't have the tracks on your server. How can you distribute them to players? And then you want to go under Match Settings. You're going to want to go Match Settings, test_lol. Nice. We've saved everything. Good. Now, everything should have been set up nice and clean. We're going to CD out of this. What we're going to do is we're going to go CD. We're going to CD into the TrackMania server, and then we're going to run the server command. However, this time it's going to be with our new test_lol.txt match settings. Then we're going to CD back out into the other server. we're going to run the command /aseco f.sh. This will run the other server, and then everything should be good. We can check it running by checking the log files located in FileZilla. This will allow us to see if the server is running. We can then load up TrackMania to test the server. Checking online, we can clearly see that the test server 1 is available, and we can now join. So as we've connected, you can clearly tell that you've got the TrackMania records and local records and live records on the side, and everything set up horribly. Sorry about the frame rate. My recording software just killed itself. Don't know why. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Hope this has helped at least someone out there. Yeah, feel free to subscribe. All the commands and links should be in the description, or I'm probably going to write it up so someone else can. It's all easier to view. There's a text form as well in case people don't like videos, but this one's there for those who do. So yeah, cheers for watching, guys. Have a great day.